Hello, beautiful souls, and welcome to today's reading. We're going to get stuck straight into the energy of this reading, and I have already got some cards pulled. I did already start the reading, I was recording the reading, and then I accidentally said something that I shouldn't have said that would get me probably flagged, so I decided to stop and start the reading again. But I was about 15 minutes in, so I want to continue to maintain and contain the energy and all the information that was coming through, and then we're going to continue on with the rest of the reading. So I want to go through the cards as I pulled them and sort of go into the energy. And the question that really came through at the beginning was all about humanity's evolution. What do we need to see, know, understand for the highest and best good for our collective, for humanity's evolution? How are we being participatory in that evolutionary journey? That was kind of the main theme of the energy. And our first card we have was emotions. So I'll just pull all three and I'll show. We have emotions and we have kindness, and then we have the beautiful Philosopher's Stone. Now, in the original reading, I was pulled directly into the Philosopher's Stone first, so I'm going to stay with that and I'm going to explain why that pulled me in, because it was just, the energy was so perfect, but yeah, I just accidentally said something silly. So, emotions, Philosopher's Stone, and kindness coming in. The Philosopher's Stone. What happened when I pulled that card, what I felt was this real strong energy around evolution, and that we are, and this, it came through as a very philosophical almost energy. And I probably will go deeper into this in some kind of ceremony because it was really pulling me in quite deep. But what I really felt was that when we're looking at this evolutionary journey of humanity, and if you're watching a reading and you're doing anything like that, you're probably, identifying with some kind of spiritual journey, anything like that. And I use those terms extremely loosely, especially now, because honestly, what does that even mean? The way the collective is, what does that truly mean? But when we look at the Philosopher's Stone, and the message that came through is, how are we being a contributor to the evolution of humanity? We can't sit back and idly watch as humanity tries to evolve. We have to be in it. We have to start with self. It's always back to starting with self. It's the reflection we see in the mirror. How can I change with that within myself first and foremost? So if I'm seeing something in the collective that I don't like, how can I change it within myself? And the analogy that came through was social media, and the amount of people that say social media is the problem, right? That was the analogy that came through. Social media is the problem. Social media, like anything, could be a problem for some people, but it's not for everyone. So social media itself, is that the problem, or is it our use of it? Yes, there are reasons it becomes addictive, but it's also our behavior in it. And so that's our sovereignty. That's our response. That's our emotional response, right? And we are becoming more emotionally responsive versus emotionally reactive. That was the really strong message coming through. We have to be so fine-tuned in our emotional response, so we're not becoming so emotionally reactive. If we want to be an evolutionary, it's like we're setting the standard of emotional response. Emotional responsiveness is considered. There's kindness attached to it. The kindness was coming through in a slightly different way, and I'll go into that in a minute, but it's considered, emotional responsiveness is different to emotional reactiveness. And so if we want to see something changing in the world, then we have to start with self. So social media was just the first analogy. It was just one of many that could have been used. But it's not the thing itself. It's our behavior to it. It's our response to it. So we have to take the accountability for it. We have to look at our own emotional lens and say, well, okay, why is that pulling me in? What is that about that for me? Why do I need it like that? And looking at it from the perspective of, how can I evolve within myself to help evolve humanity? And a lot of people would probably say, I've been doing this for so long, and I've been on this journey for so long, and I'm not seeing the evolution. Look within and see, well, how much have I evolved? And I've just got to continue to be that light. I've got to continue to be the evolution. If we want humanity to change, we have to continue to be the beacon of light for change. And it starts with self. It always starts within. And it's allowing that energy to also, I had another, I'm going to bypass it because that's the thing that I said in the last one that I'm not allowed to say. Okay, I'm bypassing that analogy. Okay, so I'm just going to stick to the social media. We have a choice of how we react in comments. We have a choice of what we view. We have a choice in what we decide to participate in social media, right? We are a participant in it. So we have to take accountability for our participation in the things. And social media is just the one example. And I'm going to leave it at the social media and not pick any other analogies, because the one I keep wanting to go to is the one that I'll get in trouble for. So bypassing that one completely. So the emotions and the kindness, the kindness for me when it came through, it felt like being kinder to self, to soften. It's almost like softening down the edges, softening down the need for things to be almost a certain way and to release the past. There was a real strong energy of allowing the emotions of the past to be released, and not in some releasing the energy of the past and we're trying to do all this work. It's actually allowing yourself to reach to the future. You can't be in both. You can't reach to the future and cling to the past at the same time. You just energetically can't. Physically, it's impossible to stretch into both without something snapping. So we have to continue to look forward. We have to continue to move into the direction of what we wish to see, right? What we're wanting for our life. We've got to keep the gaze forward. We've got to keep that lens towards the future reality, not towards the past. And I kept feeling this softening in the back of the body, almost as if to say, like, in the back of the body, can you allow it to become softer, to release the emotions that may have been holding from the past? Is there any pain you are still holding from the past that is not relevant in your now reality, that you can simply take a breath and soften? It's not even necessarily letting it all go, but can you soften it? Do you need to hold it? Do you need to hold it as a knowing? And, I used to say this quite a lot. It's that it's sometimes our attachment to the actual thing is that, it's our attachment keeps us suffering, but it's our attachment to the emotion or the story, because we want to be able to tell the story, or we want to be able to explain why and how we got here, that we actually keep the attachment to the thing because we want to keep the memory of why this became a thing, or why this is why I am, why I react this way. And we're keeping the memory of the thing alive to justify the behavior in the now, or to justify why we were the way we were, versus going, thank you for the lesson. I don't need to remember it. I don't need to consider that again. Thank you for showing me, but I don't need to remember it to tell the story later. That's the message that's coming through. It's like, you don't need to remember all of the pain to be able to tell the story later. If any of that is there, let that go. If you haven't processed something, that's okay. Things don't have to, there's no energy to move. Emotions are always fluid. This is to say, it's like anything that is clinging, that is gripping, that is like you're carrying the pain for a reason. You're carrying it as some kind of almost like a badge of honor. That's the energy to surrender. That's the energy to soften. So there was a really beautiful energy, beautiful sort of opening messages that were coming through. I hope I've captured most of them. This is the one that kept pulling me though, and I was like so drawn into it, and it became almost a very philosophical discussion, which is why I will do it as a ceremony, because I try to keep those to ceremony and not to readings. But that philosophical discussion almost of what is our part in this evolution? Like, what are we actually here for in this evolutionary journey? And I feel like there is a shift in the consciousness within the spiritual collective of what that actually looks like, what that means. And I really do hope that that is coming soon. And we're going to start seeing some beautiful changes coming up. So what cards do we have coming through as pairing energies for this? We have the Eight of Swords, and this is mental. I'm hearing mental imprisonment. It's like your own mental prison. Your own mental prison is actually keeping the grip. And if you let your emotions be more fluid versus holding on to the mentality behind it, it's like the mind is holding on to the meaning of the emotion. An emotion fully felt only lasts 90 seconds. An emotion fully felt only lasts 90 seconds. If you feel it fully, completely to its core. If you fixate on it and give it more meaning, it expands. So the mental aspect of an emotional response keeps the imprisonment. An emotion fully felt within the body moves within the body within 90 seconds. So is it mental imprisonment, or is it actually true emotion? Oh, wow, okay. What an interesting way of putting that. Thank you for that. King of Wands. Oh, okay. This is, I'm hearing a song coming through. I'm not going to share the song because the song isn't the relevant part of it, but the energy behind the song is. And this is like a little shake up. It's like I'm seeing this as like a little shake up with the Song and the King of Wands coming in. It's like if you want to start this revolutionary energy within your own life, like if you want to start a revolution, you've got to shake up your foundations. Like a revolution starts on a shaky foundation is what I'm seeing. You can't start a revolution on solid ground. You build solid ground after a revolution, but it's like internally there is a rustle. There's like a shift in energy that's coming through. But that feels like it's like trying to wake up the humanness of your passions and desires and everything. Like the King of Wands is that entrepreneurial, like go after everything you desire. And yet it's like this hold back, right? The mental imprisonment is hold back. And I'm not seeing the evolution move forward. It's like if you want the evolution to be as we want it to be, then we have to be the people who start making the changes. Something that I shared on Instagram the other day was around, we have to start seeing it as the worker's mindset is a slaver's mindset. And we have to start shifting that. And it will take a lot of time, and it will probably take a couple generations to get us out of that. But worker's mindset is slaver's mindset. And the reality of the golden age will be we get back to how do we get paid to play? Like that will be what the true golden age will be, is that we're back to creation and back to getting paid to play. Doing what we love, doing what we're truly passionate about, and that's how everybody earns their living. At some point in humanity, that's what will be. But it won't probably be in our lifetime. We will still be in a work indoctrination for at least another 2 generations. And it will take a lot of shaking the foundations for true revolutionary energy to shift into a new system of our reality. But it doesn't mean that you can't live that in this lifetime. Just because humanity as in total won't experience that for at least another 2+ generations, if we're lucky, it doesn't mean you can't. And that is the rustle. That's the energy shift. This is to say, it's like where's the passion? Where's the fire within? Where's the desire for your life to say, like, I want to be the evolutionary change that humanity looks to. I want to be that beacon of light. I want to be the example. I don't want to sit back and wait for it to happen, because it will not happen if everybody does that. It will only happen if enough people say, let's change the way this energy works. Let's change the way we are participating. Okay, we have strength and vulnerability. But I'm feeling this. It's like the vulnerability is just like, it's almost like the catch of it. It's almost, vulnerability is one of our most beautiful assets. And it's taken me years to be okay being in vulnerability. But here, vulnerability, there's a beauty in vulnerability, but this card is not asking us for that right now. The strength is what is needed. And what I'm seeing it, and so taking this with that energy, trying to explain the energy first, to say that right now, vulnerability is actually a weakness. Vulnerability is not a weakness. Vulnerability is one of our greatest assets. But in this energy, vulnerability is a weakness. We need strength. Strength is needed at a soul level here. So it's like vulnerability emotionally is one thing, but at a soul level, where like there's a strength, there's a fortified energy. It's like a fortified strength that is unshakable within. That's how you build that reality. Because it is the hardest journey. I will say that is the life that I have. For the last 12 months, that's exactly what I had to do. I rewrote my entire reality. I rewrote my entire world. But it took me everything I had, strength-wise, physically, emotionally, mentally, everything. But I made the decision to say, well, I want to change my reality. So what would I need to do that? And it shifted everything. So it is a journey of strength, a journey of resilience, but it's a journey of soul and truth. And we have to sometimes ask, how committed are we to the journey? How committed are we to actually seeing the highest evolution for you in this lifetime? Because as a collective, we're not going to get to where we want it to be. We will not see the golden age in our lifetime. If we are lucky, we might see glimmers of it. because we have such deep conditioned indoctrination in it's so hardwired. So can you find your evolution in humanity in this lifetime? Can you find the highest version of self in this lifetime? Can you become the beacon of light for others in this lifetime? Can you be in this lifetime? Who are you in this lifetime? This is the only life we have. And we can philosophize about that all we want and say, yes, we have, past lives, future lives, our soul is infinite and we live in a multidimensional reality and we have parallel lives and other timelines, and all those things are also true. But we only have one life, this one right here that you are experiencing in this now reality that I am speaking to you in. This is the only human experience you will remember. This is the only human experience you'll remember. So why not live it fully? Live it all the way, fully, and remember it. A lot of people I've been hearing on the spiritual journey saying, that's a lesson I can learn in the next lifetime, because they're just tired of the spiritual journey. Is that as far as you're willing to evolve in this lifetime? Now, that feels almost like a challenge to say, is that really as far as you're willing to evolve? Got a little hard? It's a fucking tough journey to evolve as a human and change all of your beliefs and change the way you interact with the world and the way you interact with your own self, right? Self-love is a brutal journey to become self-loving for most of us who have been indoctrinated into an opposite energy. It's a hard journey. We know it's challenging. And yet, isn't it worth it to become the highest version of self that we can be in this lifetime? Take away the spiritual journey. Don't you just want that as a human? If we have the ability for that, don't we want to take it? But it takes strength. It takes us getting out of this. This mental prison is the thing that will keep most people captive for the rest of their fucking lives. And the best way out of this is in the body. It's not in the mind, right? The problem is not the solution. Remember that always. The problem is not the solution. So if you've got a mental prison, you don't stay in the mind to fix a mental prison. It keeps you in a mental prison. Get in the fucking body, get in the heart, get back into self, into the actual self, and you'll get out of the mental prison. You'll shake your foundations to its core when you get out of the head and back into the heart, when you get out of the head and into the body. The mental prison will keep you trapped always. And it's where most people spend the most time. Affirmations, subliminal affirmations, mantras, mindset work, mindset work, mindset work. I do a little bit of that still. Every now and then I'll do a little bit of mindset work on myself, but most of the time I just do embodiment work. I do somatic work. I spent years doing this mindset work, only to stay stuck in mindset work. It's only when I shifted fully into the soma, completely just being like, okay, even affirmations, I anchor them through the body. My affirmation that I have for this year, which has been the thing that's completely changed my health journey, is not an affirmation that I say out loud. It's an affirmation I dance. I dance that affirmation in my body, into every single cell in my existence, in my being. I dance that affirmation until it is literally a living, breathing version of me. I don't think about it. I don't mentalize it. I bring it into the physical form. If we want to manifest in 3D, we need to bring it into the physical form. The physical form is in our body. It's in the soma. With this here, it's just like, okay, here we go. Let's go. Temperance. And this is our beautiful balance and harmony card. And I love that this is coming through. And I know this is the card because I could see it. But I love that, this is coming through. But we have to work on this. Again, this is an ongoing journey. Temperance to me it's a beautiful energy, but it's an ongoing energy. It's always this juggling act. It's a juggling act between staying aligned to the journey, but also staying conscious of where you are, staying, forward focused, but present. It's about being in our most alive, activated, fully awakened state, but also being conscious of everything else around us, right? It's a constant balancing act. And it's why it's a journey. It's not a destination. And there's a beautiful song, and I've probably shared it before. I know I've shared it, I think, in a ceremony, but I might have shared this line before. in a reading. I'm not sure if I have. But there's a line in a song that says, we sell our lives to the sea. And the song is called The Sea. And it's a beautiful song. And it's like everything is leading us to the sea. Like every stream, every river is leading us to the sea. We're all ending up there anyway. Right? And it's basically just surrender to the sea, like surrender to the current, surrender to the water, surrender to the river. But the second to last line says, we sell our lives to the sea. We sell our lives to the future reality. We're selling our present moments for some future destination. That's the trade most people are making. We're selling these present moments for some future reality that we hope for. And I believe in hope. I believe that hope is one of the greatest things we have. But don't sell your present moments for the future. The future unfolds by you being more present here. Being more present here, being more aware and conscious here will evolve that future reality versus trying to focus on the future reality and I've done this. Future reality, reverse engineer it, unpack it, then you manifest it. Great. Okay, that's easy enough to do. But what about allowing something more magical to happen? Because what you perceive to even know as what you dream of as your future reality does not even exist yet in terms of energetics. The things that will be possible for us in the next 2 decades have probably not even been invented, most of them yet. So to try to create a future reality that is 5, 10, 15 years in the future now, can we truly say that we will even know what that future reality looks like? So the things that we're even dreaming of don't even necessarily exist yet. So rather than trying to go, this is the destination, this is where I want to get to, that some future point in the reality where I'll find happiness, right? The pursuit of happiness or happiness in the pursuit. Which one are you going to choose? Because there's only one choice. You can only choose one, the pursuit of happiness or happiness in the pursuit. You can't be in both. So are you willing to be consciously present with the life that you are experiencing now and being conscious of every decision you're making and the choices you're making, knowing there is no right choice, it's just choice. And what's the choice you can live with right now? And everything else unfolds, but knowing that we are evolving into the best version of self, and I'm going to just have the most joy and pleasure that I can in that experience, sharing the most light and love. I hate that statement. Can't believe I just said that statement out loud. But use them as 2 separate words, not the statement. Share your light and pause, share your love with the world. Because I hate that statement. Allow your light to be a beacon. Allow your heart to be a radiant beacon of loving presence. And when you become that, when you are that, everything else starts to shift around you. So you don't even know what that future could be because you haven't even perceived it in your wildest dreams yet, because most people's dreams are only based on what other people have achieved. And everybody who's ever invented anything, created anything from scratch, you have to start, with a blank slate in the mind. It's like, let your future reality be blank slate. And then it's almost like, let your heart dream bigger. Let your mind be so expanded. Even the vision that I have now, I've got a vision that's been given to me. I've got this vision and I'm like, okay, how on earth am I going to get that created in 5 years? That seems impossible. But I also, on the other side, I also know it's probably going to be 10 times bigger or different or completely morphed into something else in 5 years' time because of the energetic shifts that are taking place. We have no idea how things are going to be. So the more conscious we are in the journey, and not trying to get to some perceived future destination that you think will bring you the happiness you've been seeking. And it's where most people get stuck in the journey. All my finger quotes of journey, ascension journey, right? Because honestly, we've got to strip it back and say, how am I being consciously participatory in my evolution? And what needs to shift within me? If I want to see my reality shift, what needs to shift within me? Okay, I'm going to leave it there. We're going to leave that one there. Take what resonates, leave whatever doesn't. As always, not every reading is for everybody. Not every card in every reading is for everybody. Not every message in every reading is for everybody. So take what you need, leave the rest. Sending you so much love, divine souls, and we'll connect again very soon.